Right-wing groups funded by billionaires are telling their followers that Biden is going to end everything they know and love. Oh my God, it's socialism coming. Check it out. Leave your comments, ding the bell, share it with your friends, and subscribe to our channel. Cynthia in Kentucky. Hey, Cynthia, what's on your mind today?
Hello, good to talk to you today.
Randy. I'm sorry, Randy in Cynthiana, Kentucky. My apologies, Randy.
No problem.
What's up?
I think the temperature went up just the opposite in Washington today. It went up positive 46 degrees.
There you go, positive 46.
Yes, sir.
I'm with you.
I have some friends and neighbors and even some family members that are Christians, and they are so concerned about the communism and what they think may happen. What is their concern? I've tried to explain to them that you only have it by taxation. What is going to go on with these people that they don't understand? That
well, A, they don't understand Christianity, but B, I got an email this morning, this very, just about an hour before I went on the air, from Adam Brandon of FreedomWorks. Adam, I think, is the president. I didn't print out the page that's got his signature on it. But here's what he sent me. FreedomWorks, of course, is the organization that the Koch brothers helped fund and launch and toss into reality, and that brought us the Tea Party. The taxed enough already, and the anti-Obama, and keep your government hands off my Medicare. In the first years of the Obama administration, all that effort. FreedomWorks is one of the major organizations that was pushing that. But they have grassroots funding, and in fact, this email is part of that, getting people to contribute to them. But they're also, I don't think they would exist were it not for these right-wing billionaires bringing them into being. And so here's the letter. Dear Thomas, there are only a few hours before Joe Biden is sworn in today. And once the Biden family sets up shop in the White House this afternoon, Democrats will control the entire federal government, entires in all caps. To put it bluntly, freedom-loving Americans are facing an all-out nightmare. And I need to know if FreedomWorks' top grassroots supporters stand with me, battling back against the socialist onslaught, barreling to destroy our liberties and our Constitution. So this is how these guys refer to things like unemployment insurance or Medicare or Social Security or expanding Medicare so that anybody in the country can have it. That's in their mind, it's socialism. He goes on to say, to save America, you and I must make the politicians learn that there will be a severe price to pay at the ballot box should they vote to impose socialism on our country. That's why we've emailed you your demand freedom petition. But despite the numerous attempts to reach you, my staff tells me we haven't received your signed petition. Please sign your defend freedom petition at once. Thomas, there are only a few hours remaining until a presidential inauguration where Americans are told for the first time in history we must watch it virtually. That's the sad result of the panicked lockdowns of Joe Biden's dark winter and the hysteria big tech, the fake news media, and the Democrats have dragged our nation into. I wish it were only a virtual train wreck. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Chuck Schumer, and Nancy Pelosi are stoking the fires of, but I'm afraid the danger couldn't be more real. They've made it 100% clear all bets are off after noon today. Then, Thomas, the Democrats plan to start their socialist remake of America in earnest. Schemes to eliminate the filibuster, fix the Supreme Court, and grant statehood to D.C. and Puerto Rico are only the beginning. Democrats think they have a mandate to cement raw power. And those words are capitalized, italicized, and underlined. Raw power over you and me for a generation, and ram, another word in all caps, ram through their entire socialist agenda, including, and now we have 4 bullet points here, open borders and imposing taxpayer-funded free health care programs for illegal immigrants. A wealth tax on money already earned and taxed. You can kind of tell there's billionaires behind this, right? Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's New York Socialist Green New Deal, and passing H.R. 1, the GAG Act, to stifle the ability of organizations like FreedomWorks to fight back against their schemes. You and I are already witnessing the silencing of conservatives by big tech and the fake news media. By the way, the silencing of conservatives was the theme last night on both Sean Hannity's show and on Tucker Carlson's show. This is their new buzz phrase. Conservatives are being silenced. You and I have to show Joe Biden and his socialist pals they are wrong, wrong, wrong. They must be put on notice that despite the left's attempts to silence us, grassroots conservatives will not go away. And then, of course, click the link and send us money. But that's what these people are hearing. And FreedomWorks is like considered not a nutcase organization, right? FreedomWorks, this is not, some, QAnon or something. This is, a mainstream conservative organization that led the charge against Obamacare, that killed the public option. They're declaring war. And that's the right-wing billionaires in the Koch network right there. That's what they're saying. And so, it shouldn't be surprising at all that your friends are believing this, Randy, because it's going to be all over the place.
I tried to explain to them that we would never do things like that they're just out of their minds. I don't know what they're talking about. And they just swear that it's going to happen and that we do all those things. Do all the things that you just said. And I said, nobody.
Yeah, keep in mind the Koch fortune is founded in oil, and they run oil refineries. They're one of the largest suppliers of oil in the United States, and the Green New Deal is all about getting America off oil. And obviously, it's not just Charles Koch. There's a bunch of other right-wing billionaires, fossil fuel billionaires, or billionaires who made their money in other industries aligned with it, who are there too. So it's enlightened self-interest, but it's also ideology. These people are at their core libertarians. They believe that government is a bad thing, that government should only provide the military and the police. Period. Full stop. That's the only legitimate function of government, and courts. And that everything else is socialism. Unemployment insurance is socialism. Free public roads are socialism. They should be turned into tollways. Social Security is socialism. Medicare is socialism. Unemployment insurance, I think I already said that. Health clinics, public libraries. It's all fire departments. It's all socialism, right? And they want public schools. That's socialism in their mind. So maybe, Randy, this could be an opportunity for you to engage your Christian friends who perhaps have not read Matthew 25, to engage your Christian friends in either a discussion of what is Christianity really? There's one moment in the Bible where the disciples came to Jesus and said, how do we get to heaven with you? And he gave them a very explicit answer, and it's in Matthew 25, where he said, feed the hungry, clothe the naked, house the homeless, heal the sick, visit those in prison. And they were all freaked out because they had never seen him sick or hungry or whatever, but that's a whole nother rant. So either to have a conversation about what does Christianity really mean, or why do you think that Medicare is socialism? And why do you think that extending Medicare to people who are under 65 would be the end of the republic? How is that possible? How do you even think that way? It seems like a great. I would love some of those people to call this show. I'd love to have that conversation with them.
And then they say that all those things are good if they were not forced upon you. That if they do it freely, that God wants you to do these things freely. They say. And not be taxed on it and not be forced to do it. It's like slavery, they say. And I say, well, look, you're already
right. I haven't
churches and these 501c3 churches.
Yeah.
That was put on you back in 1954. Don't you know that you are in with the system? The IRS puts all these regulations on you when you sold yourselves back in 1954 with LBJ. They just can't get that. They just don't understand that they're in with the system now. They're communists because everything goes through taxes. And when you get a tax, you have to give something up. They gave up all their voice.
And, Randy, it's mostly older people who are hearing this. Because when they hear socialism, they think of the Soviet Union, which didn't work. I was there when it was the Soviet Union. It didn't work. But that's what they think socialism means, or Castro's Cuba, which they think is a dystopia. I've been there too, and it's actually not that bad. But it's still not what you would call a bastion of freedom. But nobody's talking about that. There is no Democrat in America who is talking about turning America into the Soviet Union.
I know. That's what I tell them. I said, don't worry about all these things that you hear on these other shows.
Yeah. They're just trying to whip you up because some billionaires don't want to lose their oil revenue or have their wealth taxed.